welcome back to my channel, Kazzy here, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you my overly ambitious June TBR. There seems to be a trend going around that everybody's got a very overly ambitious TBR for June, and I am no different. Mostly because I only read 4 books in May and I kind of want to get back on the bandwagon and really get into reading again. Even though Goodreads says that I am 2 books ahead of schedule, thankfully. But I felt that since May wasn't a great reading month, like don't get me wrong, I am still happy with 4 books because 2 of them were very sizable and my energy levels were just like non-existent in May. I want to challenge myself and see if I can follow a TBR. If you've been around my channel, you'll know that I've only done 1 TBR in the past, and I think it was a summer TBR, and that went to pot because I didn't really follow that at all. I think I got like 4 books out of that one read, and I think I like shared like 12. As I said, this is quite an ambitious one because a lot of these are quite sizable. There's quite a lot of them. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna do an ambitious TBR. Probably fail, but that's all the fun of it. So let's just dive on into the books. The first book on my TBR is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard and the Hammer of Thor by Rick Riordan. This is on this because this was the book that I started at the end of May but didn't get it finished at the end of May, so that's why it's not in my May wrap up, because I didn't get it finished. If you don't know what Magnus Chase is, this is Rick Riordan's book series set around the Norse gods, and evidently it features the Hammer of Thor. Thor is notorious for losing his hammer, a far cry from the Marvel Cinematic Universe Thor, and so Magnus Chase is charged with returning it and all that jazz. So need to finish this one. Next up on this overly ambitious TBR is this overly ambitious thin brick, and that is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I adore Marissa Meyer. I've read Heartless and, spoiler alert for the June wrap up, but I listened to the audiobook of, I keep forgetting, Cinder, which is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. I absolutely loved it, and so I want to read more of Marissa Meyer. Renegades, I've been wanting to read this since it came out last September, but the thing was, it only came out in the UK in a god-awful design in paperback. And I was not happy about that because it looked like it was a companion book for Heartless with the design. And so I bought this one because I wanted this cover specifically. I wanted to read this one, and it's about superheroes and good versus bad and secret identities, extraordinary powers. She wants revenge, he wants justice, and that was revenge, if my articulator would work. But the Renegades are a syndicate of prodigies, humans with extraordinary abilities, who emerged from the ruins of a crumbled society and established peace and order where chaos reigned. As champions of justice, they remain a symbol of hope and courage to everyone except the villains they once overthrew. Nova has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she is on a mission for vengeance. As she gets closer to her target, she meets Adrian, a renegade boy who believes in justice and in Nova, and Nova's allegiance is to a villain who has power to end them both. Sounds so cool. I have heard nothing but great things about this book. Again, probably overly ambitious to try to get this done because let's just see how long it is. 552 pages. I can do it. I can do it. Because I'm filming this on the 7th, and so hopefully by the time I get around to editing this and it goes up, I might have another one of these knocked out. I love the way this is so tall. I love tall books. I also want to get to Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the sequel to Caraval, which I read last year and I absolutely loved. I need to find out what was happening next. What I love about Legendary is that this is from Donatella's perspective that you didn't get to know a lot about in Caraval, because Caraval was from Scarlet's perspective, and for me, Scarlet and Donatella are like Morgana and Morgause from Merlin. I just saw so many parallels between those two. I probably made up half of them in my head, but I don't care. This follows on from where Caraval leaves off, I think. After being swept up in the magical world of Caraval, Donatella Dragna has finally escaped her father and saved her sister Scarlet from a disastrous arranged marriage. The girls should be celebrating, but Tella isn't yet free. She had a desperate bargain with a mysterious criminal, and what Tella owes him no one has ever been able to deliver. Caraval, Master Legend's true name. The only chance of uncovering Legend's identity is to win Caraval, so Tella throws herself into the legendary competition once more, and into the path of the murderous heir to the throne, a doomed love story and a web of secrets, including her sisters. Caraval has always demanded bravery, cunning and sacrifice, and now the game is asking for more. If Tella can't fulfill her bargain and deliver Legend's name, she will lose everything, maybe even her life. But if she wins, Legend and Caraval will be destroyed forever. Oh my god, I gotta wait. I need to read this month so badly. I wanted to get to it at the end of May, but I was reading something else at the end of May. I know I probably could have just set it down, but this only came into Waterstones despite being pre-ordered on the 31st. A little bit disappointed that didn't come in the 29th, but I still love it. This is actually a signed edition by Stephanie Garber, and let's just see what the secret cover is. Boom. The Lady Prisoner. It's so pretty. So pretty. It looks gorgeous next to Caraval on my shelves. Let's just put this back on. Cannot wait to read this. I also want to read Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. This is the illustrated edition by Mina Lima. If you don't know who Mina Lima is, they are the graphic designers that did all of the designs for Harry Potter and for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. They are spectacular. I want to be them when I grow up. I want to be a lot of people when I grow up. This is the edition that they have designed. I've never read Harry Potter. I've never read Peter Pan. It was never required at school or at university, so yeah, I took like the wrong modules. I decided to pick this copy up because it is just gorgeous, and it has like these interactive little things. Rude. It's so difficult to show this with a hardback book. Oh my gosh. I don't want to touch anything. It has this map of Skull. Oh, just look at that. Isn't that freaking amazing? I decided it was finally time to read Peter Pan. It's one of my favorite Disney animated movies. It's one of my favorite stories. You know, the bare bones of it. That's all I know of it. So I decided, right, it's time to do it. And what better way than this with a spectacular edition that, you know, one day if I have children of my own, I can read it. Although, to be perfectly honest, I imagine myself reading this to my dog, and I'm okay with that. I need to get to Ink Death by Cornelia Funke. This is the third and final book to the Ink World trilogy, which starts with Ink Heart and Ink Spell. Ink Death, I think, follows off straight where Ink Spell leaves off, and I was not happy with the ending of Ink Spell because Cornelia Funke has a lot to answer for because of the trauma that I had to endure. I'm not giving any spoilers away about that, but I think you can kind of tell from the title of this that somebody is dead or is going to die. Either way, this kind of wraps everything up, hopefully in a nice little neat bow for a happy ending, because Maggie loves happy endings. I don't know, maybe. I need to get to this one. It's a brick. How long is this one? 699. 700 pages. That's going to take a week for me. I also want to get to How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. This is about a man who is like several hundred years old. And he's gone from Elizabethan England to Jazz Age Paris, from New York to the South Seas, and he has seen a lot and he kind of craves an ordinary life now. I want to get to this book because it reminds me a lot of Helen Magnus from Sanctuary. If you've been around my channel, you know that I've mentioned Sanctuary like 15 billion times. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name's Kazzy. I love Sanctuary. It used to be one of my favorite television shows back around 2010. And it has this character called Helen Magnus, who is like 160 years old, and she is from Victorian England. She has this ability of longevity because, you know, what else do you do at university than experiment with vampire blood and inject yourself? Not sure what this guy does in it, but I shall see. So it gives me major Sanctuary vibes, major Helen Magnus vibes, and I'm kind of wanting to read it to see if I can include it in a Sanctuary recommended reads video, but I have like a lot of books to read in order to do that video, because more and more books just keep giving me Sanctuary vibes, and at this rate I think that video is going to be half an hour long with the amount of books that I have on that list to talk about, or to potentially talk about. The penultimate book on this ambitious TBR is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. The only reason I want to read this book is that people are like saying it's like Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and I loved Six of Crows. Six of Crows is probably one of my favorite books of the year so far, and so to have a book that's likened to it, I am all for that. When the tagline is take a card and stake your soul. Survival is your only goal. Surrender. That's what we're doing. Surrender! Surrender to the vice within. Bet your life. Hope you win. Welcome to the city of sin where casino families reign. Gangs infest the streets and secrets hide in every shadow. Sounds ominous. Sounds brilliant. You're a book nerd, Zoe. Rated this very highly, so if Zoe liked it, then I think I'm going to like it. And I think Haley and Bookland liked it as well. But I am very excited to read this. I just hope it... Ooh, maps. I love maps. That looks like a good map. But this will be the first book that I've read by Amanda Foody. I know she wrote Daughter of the Burning City. When it came out, I wasn't really interested in it, but this one, I'm just like, yes, please. And the last book on this ambitious TBR is Tomorrow by Damien Dibben. This follows this dog that is several hundred years old as well. Can you sense a theme with some of these? This dog has gone through so many owners. He's 217 years old and he's searching for his lost master. A story of love that spans the centuries. Tomorrow is a dog who must travel through the gilded courts of kings and the brutal battlefields of Europe in search of the man who granted him immortality. Tomorrow befriends both animals and humans, falls in love and marvels at the human ability to make music while despairing at their capacity for war. But Tomorrow's journey is also a race against time. Danger stalks his path and in the shadows lurks an old enemy. Before his pursuer can reach him, he must find his master or lose him forever. Tomorrow is a spellbinding story of courage and devotion, of humanity across the ages and the unbreakable bond between two souls. After all, what is lost can surely be found. I don't know if this book is going to break my heart, but I just love the idea of this story about a dog looking for his master, and like I have 2 dogs and they're like the loves of my life. It just sounds like such a beautiful read. And then just look at this cover. To be perfectly honest, I think this is like a 60% cover buy, 40% I like the idea of the story. Am I kidding? It was pretty much a 90% cover buy and 10% interested in the story because it's about a dog. And it has all of these like monuments on the cover that just depict parts of the world and then just like the different time periods. And the sentence on the back of the book is kind of what destroyed me most. A person who keeps dogs will lose many in their lifetime. I was a dog who lost people. Oh my gosh. I think I'm gonna probably have to read this one with tissues. I don't cry at books. I think this one might just be the one. So there you have it, guys. That is my overly ambitious TBR. Do you think it's ambitious? I think it's ambitious because some of these are like white thick books, quite long books. I am not the fastest reader in the world, so hopefully I'll manage to get through a brave chunk of those. Let me know what books you have on your TBR, what books you want to read in June. Do you want to read any of these? Will they be on future TBRs for you? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!